Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's the 16th of July today, it's Friday. I'm inside because it was raining again. I went out, put my tripod up, and I think it was the demigods showering flowers down. That's what rain is. Rain is a blessing. It means we get crops, grains, leafy greens, chlorophyll to eat. It's good for us. It's antiviral. We need liposomal encapsulated vitamin C, chlorine dioxide made from sodium chloride, vitamin D, Swedish bitters, oxygen therapy, vegetables, not meat. Meat is madness. You're eating your family. It's toxic. It's negative. We need milk. We need to make cheese. Curds and whey. There's a nursery rhyme that goes with that. I was trying to explain the number system, and I've got some little rings to demonstrate it, and I can't find them. So yet again, it's not easy, but someone's got to do it, and that makes it an honor. I was reading out of this little book yesterday, Krishna Consciousness at Home, a practical guide, and I stopped at a certain point. I'm just going to pick up again. It's written here, the key is to accept the guidance of the scripture and the guru. Krishna declares in the Bhagavad Gita that a person can achieve neither happiness nor the supreme destination of life, not afterlife, going back to Godhead, back to Lord Krishna. So it's in this life. If he or she does not follow the injunctions of the scriptures, it's not difficult, it's not cheap, but it's nothing is ever expected of us that is outside of our abilities. Our Creator doesn't do that to us. It's all within reach. It's just like we are many, they are few. We are the powerful, they are the fearful. We are in the best position we've ever been in. We're at home, we've got time to practice our spiritual life. They are in fear and needing help. They need to be helped. They're living entities. They're not who they think they are. They're not the body. They're not the creators. They're not the boss. It needs to stop. We are enslaved by our own efforts. We finance it. All we need for a new value exchange system is transparency. If there was transparency, there would be no problems. But this is also the grand design. This is the polarity, so that we can see the obvious abuse and make corrections and shift our consciousness. There was also talk on some of the presentations that have been shared with me by friends about surrender. It doesn't help surrendering to avoid. That's Buddhism. Buddha was an incarnation of Krishna. He came to prevent bloodletting, blood sacrifice when it was needed. So he led people. He led people away from reliance on the Vedic teachings, the Vedic hymns, the oral traditions, because they misinterpreted them. But that was also by design. Everything's by design. Not an atom, not the position, orientation, or function of an atom is unknown, past, present, or future. I said the other day by mistake, is known. That was a mistake. I'm not perfect. So I'll carry on. Going back to Godhead, back to Lord Krishna. If he or she does not follow the injunctions of the scriptures, and how to follow the scriptural rules by engaging in practical service to the Lord, this is explained by a bona fide spiritual master. Without following the instructions of a spiritual master who is in an authorized chain of disciplic succession coming from Krishna himself, we cannot make spiritual progress. The practices outlined here are the timeless practices of Bhakti Yoga, as given by the foremost spiritual master and exponent of Krishna consciousness in our time, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder, Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada explained that an Acharya is one who thoroughly knows the tenets of the scriptures, lives by them, and teaches them to others. So I've just, by watering the root, I've paid respects to Prabhupada. I've also mentioned Krishna, Godhead. So by surrender, by speaking the truth, everything's covered. It's not complicated. It's just to be transparent. There are a lot of shamanic systems and traditional healing. This is the Rolls Royce. Even reading Credo Mutwa's Indaba My Children, it's not as robust. There's a lot of records of events coming out of antiquity, and they are definitely parallel to the Vedic hymns, the scriptures, the Vedas. But the authorized scriptures coming from India through the Brahma Sampradaya are unfathomably robust. Bye! It's a framework. At the point that we become Krishna conscious or God conscious, we start unlocking functions that basically I'm realizing it's actually co-creation. So by surrendering your senses, by dovetailing your senses and sharing them with the super soul, and I got this wrong I think yesterday as well, Rishikesh is the master of the senses. So the super soul, the silent witness, cooperates with Rishikesh, the master of the senses, to engage in the material atmosphere, the material manifestation, that technology that interacts. It provides what we need to learn. So when we engage our senses in Bhakti Yoga, which is dovetailing those senses with the super soul, the silent witness, we basically relax the function of being absolutely controlled, and it gives access to intelligence and memory and creative impetus. And then you start to see what's going on in nature. so much is being revealed to me, and I'm sure to many other people. Maybe the difference is using this technology, it becomes more apparent, and you actually have a framework within which to earn the rate at which you progress, because it's absolutely detailed and it's transcendental literature. So you actually interacting with the auditory vibration in writing. They're hymns, mantras that have been written and translated and elaborately. So you can even learn the language of God, Sanskrit, the Vedic mantras. Today, the 16th, again, the Maha Mantra, 16 words. All the names of God, glorifying the names of Krishna, Rama, the most attractive, all of his opulences. The one that is desirable is the most renounced, which just means not selfish. He's selfless. He's the most selfless. He's creating everything for every living entity across billions of universes. It's just faulty thinking to control others. It's just allergic reactions, creating karma by gratifying your senses instead of surrendering your senses to Supersoul, the silent witness. It's not complicated. I came up with this is what's happening with me. I wake up and I have these epiphanies, but they're not epiphanies, they're sharing, because I'm surrendering. A way of creating a blockchain, an imperishable network of information with authorized, not members, because board members, self-descriptive, members of the board, boron. Boron is atomic number 5, boring moron. The Pentagon, the 5 eyes, boring, boron. It's God's humor. They actually are structures. They're for us to make the shift. We need to own them. We are the people. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Now we see the light. We need to stand up for our rights. Take off the mask of illusion. Stop being the sheeple. Mary had a little lamb. Wherever Mary went, the little lamb would go. We need to take back our senses. We need to surrender the creative function to the silent witness, dovetail, bhakti yoga. And then we take back our sovereignty. And the illusion slackens. The entanglement. It's all being provided anyway. It doesn't stop. When we surrender, it improves. The ones at the top are suffering. They are the most entangled. Can't move. Absolute fear. It's an illusion. And it hurts. And contrary to what a lot of people think, it affects God. He is suffering for us. He feels it. That's his selflessness. We need to make the shift. It's easy. The imperishable blockchain. The few internet sites that I've registered, just add krishna.com. I can't look them up now. iscore, iscore.com. If we make all of those domain names available as a link on one page, and every other cooperator, someone who wants to resonate with the whole shift in consciousness, if we replicate whatever list of domain names are available on one page on every other person who's involved page, we have a network forming that is positive, all of the good information. It's not all pretty, but it needs to just be the truth. So that's a very simple way to share information, to move away from centralized, selfish systems like the patent system. We need to share our technology that's being imparted to us. We need to share the technology of liberation, of conscious evolution, of the golden age. Lord Chaitanya's inaugurated it. It's happening. But we've got to do something. There is a margin of freedom, of choice. We can't be pathetic. Be humble. Don't be pathetic. Don't be a sheeple. A friend of mine yesterday said that I should keep these presentations short because people don't have the attention span. There's a serious attention deficit. Everybody can sit in front of a TV for their whole lives and become retarded. And now that there's, and it's just regurgitated rubbish. It doesn't help. It's designed not to. It's not the truth. If you just chant that mantra, God takes care. He's taking care already. It's just a shift. It's an acknowledgement that we are not the creator, the creators. We are the created. It's an acknowledgement that's what's going on. And that is the shift. But it's not void. It's not impersonal. It's very personal. Your creator knows you far better than you know yourself. He's been there all along for trillions of years, alongside you, experiencing every detail with more acute senses than you've ever had. He's creating you, and he wants to enjoy with you, and he wants to see us enjoy with each other. That's his pleasure. He's not a controller, he's a creator. He's selfless, he's not selfish. So I'll keep it short. That'll be better, easier to upload, better for the attention span of people. So with my deep and profound gratitude towards Prabhupada, because he's definitely my anchor in this. I've met him. He hasn't left us. None of us ever leave, especially if you surrendered on this level. Whatever happens, you never die. You just get to come back and help. However is irrelevant, just goes on. Just with love and respect and gratitude, and hoping that more and more people listen to what I've got to say, what we've got to say. Me and my Creator. So Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day. Haribol. Dandavat Pranams. Namaste. It's not complicated.